Hello, my name is Russell Sion, and the presentation I'm about to show you now is based on one that I gave for the Active and Intelligent Packaging Association Virtual World Congress in September 2020. I'm going to explain how Dimaco can help in reducing the environmental and financial impacts of food production. But really, it's all about the data. Before I get into the detail of the presentation itself, I'll just tell you a little bit about the history of the company. Dimaco was founded in 1987 and has been part of the Jenton Group since 2016. The Jenton Group of companies supplies, designs and manufactures production equipment and has been doing so since the 1970s. Dimaco are a world leader in label and code verification systems, mainly in the food and drink industry, and we have hundreds of systems installed. They are installed on online and offline applications for trays, backpacks, pouches, whole birds, doy packs, in fact, just about everything that's got a label where the data is important. This slide shows some numbers that have come from the charity WRAP, which is based in the UK and advises governments and businesses on reducing their environmental impact. Their work showed that approximately 355,000 tonnes of food is wasted annually during the manufacturing process and up until the food reaches the supermarket shelves. So this isn't the food that you've overbought and left in the fridge. This is food that is wasted and probably destroyed prior to the consumer buying it. And of this, they think almost half is preventable, representing an annual saving of about £220 million. A very significant proportion of this is meat, poultry and fish, which has a large environmental impact in the first place in producing it, and then to have to go on and destroy it is just unacceptable. The US company Rentokil looked at common causes of food recalls, and overall they have demonstrated that the second most common cause of recalls is mislabeling, again entirely preventable. Two great quotes here, one from the circus impresario Phineas Barnum and one from Oscar Wilde, tends to suggest that all news truly is good news. And that may have been the case in the 1800s, but I'm really not sure that that is the case now. Take a look at this next slide. This is a snapshot taken from the UK Food Standards Agency website at the end of August 2020. You can see that in a period of just over 3 weeks, there were 4 recalls, and all of them were because of mislabeling. I particularly like the bottom one, where there was a failure to mention peanuts on the chicken satay. So maybe, certainly today, all news isn't good news, and all publicity isn't good. The video that I'm about to show you now is of a classic high-speed end-of-line production machine. This is not a Jenton Group machine, but is typical of many that are found on food lines. It's designed to minimise the number of operatives on the end of the line so that just one individual can handle high-speed packs. The stacker stacks them in multiples so that the guy on the end of the line can simply pick them up and put them in a box. The trouble is here you can see that he has to then unstack each one and check that the data on the label is correct. There's some obvious weaknesses in doing this. Firstly, the human can't keep up with more than about 60 per minute. And secondly, they get tired. Then add to that their concentration will wane and their eyes glaze over. And it's simply not a solution for running for long periods of time. There is a fundamental non-obvious weakness here, and that is what data is he actually verifying against. Before we actually look at the data itself, a Dimaco verification system can verify all of this information. It can check for the correct packaging material, promo labels, barcodes, descriptions, sell-by dates, pricing, cooking time, country of origin, and very, very importantly, the correct allergen information. The video I'm going to show you now is of a Dimaco machine in action. Firstly, it's going to run through in real time. If it's red, it's bad. If it's green, it's good. Now we'll look at it again and I'll explain what it's found. First, a misplaced promo label, a missing label completely. Our guy on the line would have found that. A rotated promo label, a badly printed price, and a perfect label. The solution that Dimaco employs starts with installing our very central server. This is a SQL Server-based system which links to some primary data, often an MRP server, but it can also be an Access database or even Excel spreadsheets. Once we have Very Central installed, we then need to connect it up to a series of label verification systems. These could be inline machines shown here, or they could be embedded within the primary packaging or labeling systems themselves. The verification machines can use a number of technologies to read the data from the label. Most commonly, it's an area scan or line scan camera. But we can also work with RFID and NFC and any combination of these. This enables us to read standard printed labels with 1D barcodes, 2D data matrix codes, data embedded barcodes, and also with encrypted codes such as Digimarc, as well as RFID and NFC tags. What you can see now is that we have a path between the primary data held on the MRP server and the label itself. This allows the verification machines to ensure that we're always verifying against the latest and most accurate data. Not only does the data path allow us to ensure that we're always verifying against correct data, but it also allows us to put the results of every verification back into Very Central, where it can be audited and reported on later. Production and QA staff are able to log on to Very Central to see what's happening in real time. This allows them to view every verification machine online. It allows them to look at the data and create their own reports. And also, it allows them to modify the data and create overrides. Every such modification and override is logged against a user name and ID and time and date stamped, so that all changes are auditable and locked down. Very Central is pre-configured to allow access by remote workers. Again, every access requires a username, ID and password to ensure that changes are auditable. In addition, it allows Dimaco engineers to be able to log on and help with training and fault finding remotely without having to visit site. This is of particular importance in today's climate. The final piece of the jigsaw is that if the supermarket has remote access to the MRP server data and changes are made in real time, then also the Dimaco Very Central server will pick up these changes and can instruct the verifiers to modify what they are verifying against. A classic example of this is if there is a price change during a production run due to weather reports. There are a significant number of benefits of using a Jenton Dimaco label verification system. These include being able to check each and every label on every pack, including promo labels, top labels, side labels, and base labels. We can utilize any technology, and also we can use various technologies in combination. We can tolerate real-time updates of label data, and we validate against a production database. We don't rely on operators telling the machines what to look for. The QA department have instant access to all data, including pass and fail images, and of course they can get this data from anywhere where they have internet access. If changes are made and error overrides happen, we can see which operator or supervisor has authorized these, as every single change is time and date stamped and linked to a user with their own unique login and password. And finally, and very, very importantly, we can verify that the correct allergens are on the label. This has been a very quick overview of the Jenton Dimaco label verification system. I hope this has shown that it's not just about the cameras and the machines, but really and truly it's about the data. If you'd like more information, please contact us on our website, email or phone, and we can have a far more detailed conversation. Thank you for watching and goodbye.